Hello and welcome back to Bromponi Adventures. In this video we will look at part 2 of the Café racer build. We will look at what went wrong, what are the challenges that we discovered after the delivery and how we're going to fix them. Yes, we go back to basics. So once we had the bike back at my place, we could start looking at what are the problems that we have. Now some were easily recognized, cosmetics. Some of them were a little bit more under the hood. I hated this plastic CB900F that they stuck on because they forgot to powder coat in the actual Honda logo that I gave them. But anyway. But there were some real serious problems. For example, no clearance. This bike was just simply unrideable. There was no way that one could go down the road without falling. And then of course, the workmanship, the paint just came apart like crazy. When I started the bike, I saw there was smoke coming out from the headers. Looking under the hood, we found that the flasher unit was faulty. We looked at the insulation, the way that they'd done the wiring. And man, these minion headlights looked horrid. Yeah, missing spaces. That was another thing. Totally bad workmanship. So in enters Mr. Black Sheep Customs. Warren is an amazing welder. I can tell you that. I've had a number of jobs done by Warren now. He's an absolute perfectionist in what he does. Warren said to me, "Don't worry, I've got this. I will fix this for you." Using most of the original exhaust, he started cutting and grinding and welding and putting together, and he really came back with the goods. As you can see, his welding work is absolutely amazing stuff. We also re-looked at the length of the exhaust, where the exhaust was connected to, how much ground clearance we could get, and yeah, just really fabricated everything back together. Little did I know at this stage what a big role Warren was going to play in the rest of this build. I just wanted to get the exhaust done and then wanted to get it back home again so that I can start with the electrical rebuild. Once we started looking under the hood, we started noticing all the electrical problems that we had. We had AC wire where there's supposed to be DC wire. We had wires going through holes where there were no grommets. We had wires that were taped together, just butterfly joints. We had wires done with normal insulation tape. Then after they'd done the housing, they discovered, they didn't have a wire in, so they just added it, didn't bother about doing it properly. So yeah, I basically started stripping everything out to see exactly what the thing was. Some of these joints were horrific. There was normal, yeah, I'm not even going to go into that. Look at the soldering on this joint. That is insane. And that's the main earth wire. And then this one was just bolted together literally with nuts and bolts. Yeah, that was insane. I don't know I know who the electrician was. You'll see a picture of him later. Tell you, I wouldn't let that guy work on my bike ever again, hey? Not a chance. Also, part of the problem was that they had sprayed with rattle cans, and a lot of the cables and a lot of the connections ended up being sprayed by rattle cans. So it took me a cloth and some turpentine to take off the rattle can spray. As I removed some of the covers, I discovered the grease and the oil. Yeah, it was horrendous. I had bought the Motor Gadget end unit quite a while ago. I bought the switches, the wiring cable, the whole bank chute. took the 3-button switches, and I was excited to get that going. That took me about a month. I literally stripped everything down wire by wire, traced it out, looked at where it should go, rewired it properly, putting in a new loom. The Moto Gadget installation was relatively easy. I would say it's easier to do a fresh install with the Moto Gadget M unit than what it would be to try and resolve any problems that you may have. Look, they're not cheap, I will admit that, but certainly it adds an aesthetic to the bike that you wouldn't normally have had. So by now, I had the bike was starting, the bike was running, but things were not right yet. We looked at, aesthetically it's starting to look better, but by now I started to replace the headlight. You can see that we've also got the geometry correct, and my friend Jade made a new seat for me, and we put in the new seat to complement the line from the tank all the way through down to the cowl. And the next job that we wanted to do was to get the respray job done. I didn't like this green, I didn't sign off on it. It was a little bit too green and too boring. I also didn't like the number 81 on the tail. So yes, back to Warren. The green that I chose was a Audi Sonoma green. It is an amazing color. I love it. You'll see it's very, very unusual, and it's not the run of the mill. So Warren sprayed some of the components for me, the headlight and the clocks, as well as the mudguard, the bumper, the cowl and the tank. Again, beautiful job. While we were there, Warren suggested that we maybe add a new front end so that we can have better brakes on the bike. He had an S-Rad front end, Suzuki S-Rad front end lying around, and we agreed, okay, let's do the S-Rad front end. So it came with clip-ons, and yeah, there we go. So a lot of engineering had to go into this as well. I wanted to make sure that we kept the original wheels. I didn't want to change the wheels. So some engineering had to be done to get spaces and make sure that the wheels fit appropriately. But all in all, after the second stunt at Warren's place, the baby was starting, the wiring was done, the front end was replaced, the spraying was done, and all what's left now is just some tuning. We'll see in the next video why it would take us another year before we would actually be on the road. Thank you very much for making it this far into the video. Really appreciate it, and hope you stick around for the next.